Good morning. This is the Ja Renee, and this is the Ja Renee Healing. So last week, I spoke to you about, I told a story about my little brother, one of my little brothers who passed away. And I also told you that there was two that I had. So I'm going to go ahead and give you part two of that story. So now I'm 9, and my mom's having another baby. And we're preparing, for this baby to arrive. And the her friends and everybody had decided that they wanted to do a baby shower for her. Now, of course, I'm 9. They didn't want to necessarily tell me about it because they thought that I was going to tell her, but little do they know, I don't even get down like that. So, um, it's the day of the baby shower, and uh, finally I'm trying to figure out a way to get away from my mom so that I can actually go with the her friends and be there, because the baby shower was at our house, like in our house. So I was able to work it out and go. My grandma was cooking dinner, so it wasn't hard to get my mom to actually, go over to her house and stay for a while. So everything was legit. It was set. She was having a baby boy, and so we get everything together. I kid you not, it was over 100 people in our house for this baby shower. And if you were at that shower, comment down below I was there, because it was a lot of people. And she eventually gets in, and well, my grandparents who she was with, they somehow managed to get there before my mom and dad even made it back to the house, which is a feat within itself. But so they get there. Next thing they're like, "Oh, my mom and dad is on their way." And so everybody's quiet. They stick the key in the door. My mom opens up the door, and everybody else surprised. And the first thing she says is, "Wait, how did y'all all get in my house?" But it was such a memorable time. It was just we just had a great time with each other, great food and everything. But that was the calm before the storm. Um, After the shower, I ended up having a dream. And the dream that I had showed me pushing a stroller down the street to a school that I was currently going to at the time. And in the stroller was a little girl. And I was taking her to that school, I guess, to show her, like, hey, show her off. And when I wake up, I told my mom about this dream, and she said, "Oh, well, I'm having a little boy, and I don't really know, kind of what's up with your dream, kind of a thing." And I'm just like, okay. Um, so, it's fast forward, it's time for her to have the baby now. So I'm at my school. All my people at my school know that I'm about to have another sibling, and everybody's excited. So my mom's friend picks me up, and we end up going, she takes me to the hospital. When I get to the hospital, I walk in and I'm like, "Where's the baby?" So my dad ends up telling me, well, the baby went home to be with the Lord. And I'm I like I need some more, need some more information on this. So they ended up telling me, pretty much what happened was that my brother took a breath inside of the womb, which caused his lung to collapse. And the doctors pretty much tried to cover it up. Um, he ended up getting with a novice doctor that put a tube down his throat and ended up piercing his heart. So I was livid. Like I was just like, can't even. So next thing I know, I'm running out of the hospital doors where the hospital room doors, and I see the first doctor. The first doctor that I see, I run up on him and I'm like, "Hey, was it you?" Of course, he's looking at me like it's the craziest little girl I've ever seen in my life. But, it's just the idea, what's up? It was one of y'all. So, of course, my dad, as he often does, I run out, he's right behind me. And when he heard me say that to the doctor, he just put his arm around me and was like, "It's okay. Let's go." So now, this is the second little brother that I've lost. I'm 9 years old. I was already in a space where I felt some kind of way the first time, but it's happening again to me. And so, of course, at the time, I'm not understanding everything that's going on. But as I had an opportunity to live, I started seeing how God was good, how things were working out, even though things were happening. At 8, I ended up meeting my two older brothers who I knew about, but I never met. I had no idea that I was going to have another little brother and lose him, but now I done gained two brothers. And I thank the Lord for my two brothers that I gained every day because they've been they've been a big support, for me just in my life. And so um as I continue to go through and process, kind of what happened because of course now everybody, there was over 100 people there. There was a lot of people that knew about this. Everybody was really just taken aback, it was definitely a whole thing. And what ended up coming back to me was my dream. And the dream that I had was I was pushing a little girl in a carriage to that school. Fast forward, so that was 1997 when all that was taking place. Fast forward to 99, it's the birth of my little sister, a baby that I did put in that carriage and push to that school in real life. Life has a funny way of working itself out. Life has a funny way of giving you exactly what you need, even though you think that what you need is something different. It's important to just stay in a good energy because I felt this was smack dab in my era where I was just still angry, still hurt, still, feeling some type of way. It was during a point where I was being bullied and or yeah, I was being bullied during this point, but I was getting to a point where I wasn't taking it. I was becoming a bully's bully. Like, how dare you? You won't. You won't. But of course, I had to get to that point, and so of course at that time it's just a lot of emotions and things going on while things are happening. But in 99, I had a little sister and my dream was it made sense of what was happening and the fact that I was able to see that. And she is just such a blessing. to us, to our family. She's just brings a lot of joy. Um, and a little sister was something that I didn't have. I had older sisters, I had older brothers, I had little brothers, that I lost, but I never had a little sister. And that was, um, I felt like that was God actually being comforting. It was comforting for us. And when she was born, because of everything that happened prior to 2 years ago with my little brother, everybody wanted to know, hey, was she born? Did she make it? Like, what's going on? So my dad just ended up leaving a message on the voicemail, just saying, hey, she was born. It was this date. She was this amount of weight, this long, whatever. And just to be able to let everybody know. So we didn't have to answer the phone. But I say all this to say things happen. We don't always know why things are happening to us, but please believe that no matter what, we're always taken care of in spite of. It's important for us to stay in the right energy, in the right space, and to make the right decisions in spite of what happens. I could have grabbed something, ran up on that doctor, and stabbed him. And there's my life. My life shut down right there. Why? Because of my me not controlling my emotions. Because of a reason that I did have a valid reason to feel some kind of way, but I didn't have a valid reason to take it out on somebody else. And that's the moral of my story. So I thank you once again for listening. I hope you enjoy your day, your week, your month, your year, and have a good one.